Rockets Nation, we're riding high on this winning streak, right? The vibes are immaculate, but there's a dark cloud hovering over our rotation that a lot of people would rather ignore. A franchise legend is back, but the on-court reality is being brutal and might force a definitive, painful decision behind the scenes. And if that internal drama wasn't enough, tonight we're walking into a literal minefield against an elite defense. You won't believe what's on tap for today. So grab a seat, hit that subscribe button if you dig the content, smash the like, and let's get straight into the news. Let's be brutally honest here, fam. When we look at the bench during this winning season, there's an uncomfortable situation that a lot of folks are avoiding, but it needs to be said. We built up massive expectations this past off-season. The narrative was perfect. The return of the prodigal son, a guy who gave us so much joy, coming home in that colossal package that brought us Kevin Durant. The idea was to have front-court depth that the whole league would envy, a fierce and healthy battle for minutes behind our star, Alperen Sengun. But what we're seeing on the floor, game after game, isn't a competition. It's a silent massacre. And it hurts to say this, because we're talking about someone who used to be our defensive anchor, but the reality of the NBA is cruel, fast, and undefeated by time. I'm talking, of course, about Clint Capella. When he landed back in Houston from Atlanta, we thought, okay, we've got Capella and Steven Adams fighting to be the sheriff of the second unit. But that fight ended before it even started. What we are witnessing is the gradual, painful disappearance of Capella from the rotation. The numbers don't lie, and they are scary. Steven Adams is playing more than double Capella's minutes at this point. We're talking a solid average of almost 22 minutes for Adams versus less than 10 for Capella. And the eye test confirms it all. Adams is just surpassing him in energy, physical impact, and tactical intelligence. Meanwhile, our old friend Capella looks like he's running with 20-pound weights on his ankles. That vertical pop that used to terrorize defenses and guarantee spectacular lobs? It's just gone. And what's most worrying is how this affects our offensive system. Adams, even without a jump shot, creates absurd spacing with those screens that feel like concrete walls, clearing the runway for Jalen Green or Amen Thompson to attack the rim. Capella, unfortunately, has been clogging the paint. A recent heavy analysis from Space City Scoop was surgical, stating that he already looks washed, just a month into the season. That's a harsh word. It stings the soul of anyone who watched him grow up here, but it reflects exactly what we see on the court. He went from an absolute starter with the Hawks to a questionable third option here. He's turned into break glass in case of emergency. He only checks in if Sengun is in foul trouble or if Adams needs a long rest. Fans need to understand that the name on the back of the jersey doesn't win games. We love what he did in the past, but the 2025 Rockets need efficiency. And right now, efficiency lives in the dirty work and physicality of Steven Adams. It's a coaching decision that shows Ime Udoka's maturity. There's no room for sentimentality when the goal is the top of the West. Accepting that Capella is just luxury insurance against injuries is the first step so we don't get frustrated waiting for the player from 2018 to show up. That player is in the past. Now, we need to focus on who is ready for the current war. And speaking of war, if you think solving this internal center issue is our biggest problem today, take a deep breath and brace yourself. Because the challenge we have in just a few hours, on enemy territory, is enough to make anyone sweat and could put our winning streak in real jeopardy. While we're still digesting this complicated situation in our frontcourt, the clock is ticking and the siren is about to sound. The immediate challenge is tonight, and it's no joke. We're taking our precious 4-game winning streak straight into the belly of the beast, heading to Ohio to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if you think this is just another routine Tuesday night game, think again. The landscape in the East is wild, with Detroit shocking everyone at the top, which leaves the Cavs, sitting in second place with a solid 10-5 record, locked in and desperate to prove they own the conference. They're coming off 2 huge wins against the Grizzlies and Bucks, so their morale is sky high, just like ours. It's going to be a collision of 2 high-speed trains. But let's break down what we're facing, because it goes deeper than the standings. Their roster is banged up, missing Darius Garland and running a super short rotation. That means the ball is going to be on a string in Donovan Mitchell's hands all night. We know how dangerous he is. Plus, they have one of the best interior defenses in the league with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. For Alperen Sengun, Tonight won't be a walk in the park. It's going to be trench warfare against twin towers who protect the rim like few others. And you've still got DeAndre Hunter and Lonzo Ball coming off the bench to pester our wings. It's a physical, annoying team playing at home. However, what fascinates me most about tonight's matchup is a tactical anomaly we rarely see in the NBA. It's a clash of completely opposite offensive philosophies. Pay attention to this. Cleveland is the team attempting the most three-pointers in the entire league. It's pure volume. They shoot from everywhere. On the other side, us, the Houston Rockets, we are the team that attempts the fewest threes. Sounds like we're at a disadvantage, right? Wrong. Because here comes the magic. Despite shooting less, we are the absolute leaders in efficiency, hitting an absurd 42.6%. It's the classic quantity versus quality duel. They're going to try to drown us in a rain of jumpers, and our mission is to respond with surgical precision, picking the right shots and not taking the bait to run and gun like them. If we get sucked into their chaotic shootout, we lose. And there's an X factor that could decide everything in our favor. Free throws. The Cavs' defense is aggressive, sometimes too aggressive, and they give up a lot of free throws. This plays right into our hands. If we're smart, attacking Mobley and Allen to draw fouls, we neutralize their rim protection and score with the clock stopped. It's chess, my friends. The key today is patience and composure. A win tonight in Cleveland against the second-best team in the East would be that signature win to show that, yes, we are real contenders for it all. But losing by falling into their three-point trap would be a terrible bucket of cold water. And it's exactly that doubt about our maturity that has me keeping a close watch on what comes next. That's a lot of heavy info to digest, nation. On one side, the harsh reality of seeing an idol like Capella turning into a museum piece while Adams dominates the paint. On the other, an immediate trial by fire against the Cavs that will prove if our surgical efficiency can beat their insane volume. Now I want to hear from you. Is the decision to bench Capella the right one, or are we disrespecting his history too soon? And tonight, does our defense hold up on the road? Drop your honest opinion in the comments because I'm reading everything. Smash that like button.